Now you criticize the media for prioritizing sensational over critical issues like poverty and malnutrition. What realistic incentives or reforms could make the media shift its focus, sir?
There can be no reforms. You cannot be reformed. You only want money. You see, most of the media has been taken over by big business, big businessmen, and big businessmen want profits. Moreover, the big businessmen want to keep the ruling government happy because they know, these big businessmen know that if the ruling government is unhappy with them, then ED raid may come, and income tax raid, and the government can harass them in 100 ways. But if the government is happy with them, then they can be benefited in so many ways. Some licenses can be given and permits can be, so many ways the government can benefit them. So big businessmen want to keep the government happy. So when Congress was in power, most of the media was pro-Congress. Now BJP is in power, most media is pro-BJP. See, yeah, I'm not talking of employees of the owners. The owners are businessmen.
Oh,
So far as employees are concerned, they dare not take a view contrary to the view of the owner, because then they will be fired, they will be dismissed. Then what will they give to their wife and children? After all, they have families to support. Should their families starve? So they dare not um, speak out anything which the boss, the owner, gets unhappy about. So if the owner says that you take this line, express these views, they dare not say, they dare not refuse, because then they will lose their jobs, and then their wives and children will starve.
yeah.
So see, this is the situation in India. I see the media. I have very poor opinion about the media in India. Very poor opinion. They are mostly sold out. Mostly sold out. They have no conscience, no ethics. There is no journalistic ethics. They will twist facts. They will distort facts. They will speak lies, downright lies. For example, I remember when this Pahalgam attack took place on 22nd April, in which 26 Hindu tourists were killed. Within 1 hour, all the TV channels which I saw on my television set, all started shouting, Pakistan has done it, Pakistan is the culprit, within 1 hour. Now, I was also interviewed by some people. And I said, see, those people who have committed this crime, of course it is a heinous crime, but those people who did it, those culprits, they have disappeared into the jungles. Now, who were they? Were they Indians? Were they Pakistanis? Who supplied them weapons? Was there any mastermind? We don't know anything. You start without any investigation. Within an hour or half an hour, you start shouting, Pakistan has done it, Pakistan has done it. So I said, this reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. You must have read in your childhood. In Alice in Wonderland, there is a character called the Queen of Hearts. Anybody brought before her, she says, off with his head, cut off his head. Somebody said that before cutting off his head, give him a hearing, hold a trial. She says, no, that will be afterwards. First, cut off his head. So your media people have behaved like this without any investigation, branding Pakistan as a culprit. What is the evidence? What is the proof? Have you done any investigation? Nothing. Pakistan has done, and then in fact you launched a war against Pakistan for this Operation Sindoor. See, now this is your media. Evidently they got instruction from the ruling party to start blaming Pakistan, and they will follow the orders coming from the ruling party. This is your Indian media.
So
They will.
I'm a journalist, and you're against journalism here.
I told you I am not talking about you personally. Please don't misunderstand.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Generally about the media that they have no ethics, no conscience, no self-respect, they distort facts, they tell lies, then there's paid news, and then they are given instructions from the owners that this is what you must say and this is what you must not say. This is your Indian media. So how can people of India have respect for the media?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
When you represent media is supposed to be the fourth estate, but in fact in India it has become the first estate, which means you are hand in glove with the ruling party, because that gives you profit. Your owners know that they must keep the government happy. This is the reality in India.
Yes. Now, you advocate forming study circles as a foundation for socio-economic revolution, sir. How do you envision these operating in practice? And are there any early examples of such groups gaining traction, sir?
No study circles. You are talking about my article, which I sent to.
Yes, sir.
See, I have been saying for quite some time that uh, the basic problems of India are socio-economic. That is our massive poverty, massive unemployment, massive child malnutrition. Every second child in India is malnourished, and skyrocketing prices of essential commodities like food, and lack of health care for the masses. And the solution to the problem is the transformation of India into a modern industrial giant like China or US.
Yeah.
That transformation, in my opinion, cannot be achieved within the present constitutional framework. The solution is outside the constitutional framework, which means by a people's struggle and a people's revolution, which may
Okay.
take 10, 15, 20 years.
Okay.
So, but historical experience has shown that before every actual revolution, there is an ideological revolution. For example, in 1789, there was the French Revolution.
Yeah.
But before 1789, for several decades, there was an ideological revolution led by great thinkers and writers like Voltaire and Rousseau and writers of the French Enlightenment. Uh, so India is presently not passing through the period of revolution, it is passing through the period of ideological revolution, which is the period prior to the actual revolution. And in this period, which we are going through, the educated people can play a great role. They have to, that is why I've suggested they should form study circles in all localities in India and educational institutions and all, where people can come together and discuss ways and means how to achieve um, this transformation and this people's struggle. But I've said the three principles on which there must be no compromise.
Okay.
A person who does not agree to these three principles, he should not be allowed to become a member. Firstly, that main problems of people are socio-economic, massive poverty, unemployment, hunger, and all. Main problem are not building Ram temple in Ayodhya or cow protection. That is all gimmicks. Main problem are these socio-economic problems. First
Social.
principle. Second principle is that these problems can only be solved by uh, people's struggle, united people's struggle, which will take 10, 15, no, maybe 20 years, and in which tremendous sacrifices have to be made. And it must be led by modern minded leaders who are determined to create a political and social order under which there is rapid industrialization and the standard of living of the people steadily rises and people get decent lives. And
Sure.
third principle is that casteism and communalism are two of our main dangers and main enemies. Now, those who don't agree with these three principles, they should not be allowed to become members of this study circle. Most people are casteist and communal, so 90% people have to be excluded from these. I mean, vast majority of people should not be allowed to become members of. the study circle because they are castes and communal, 90% people. However, I would prefer quality over quantity. I said, never mind, even if you have few, it is better to keep few rather than have people who are caste and communal and who create problems. So this is my suggestion because we are going through the period of ideological revolution, which is the period prior to the actual revolution. You see, because without an ideological revolution, there cannot be an actual revolution. Because in the actual revolution, the fighters there should know what they are fighting for. Otherwise, why will they risk their lives? But when they get to know that we are fighting for a noble cause, for emancipation of our people from these massive socio-economic evils, then they will even risk their lives. You see, therefore, ideological revolution is extremely important in order to bring about an actual revolution. And India is presently passing through the period of ideological revolution, which means there's a tremendous social ferment in India. A lot of churning is going on. Ideas, if you read Macbeth, Shakespeare's Macbeth, right in the beginning there is a line, fair is foul and foul is fair, which means what was regarded good earlier is regarded bad today. For example, we regarded caste system good earlier, now at least the enlightened section regarded a bad thing. And what was regarded a bad thing, that means love marriages and inter-caste marriage, now it is accepted by the enlightened people. So ideas, they are clashing. The feudal ideas and modern ideas, there's a tremendous clash going on in society. So in this, you educated people can play a great role, provided you have modern ideas. So that's why I said that these study circles, which should be formed all over India, in all localities, universities, colleges, and so on, they should not admit a person who is casteist or communal in their organization. This is my idea. Now it is up to the people to accept it or reject it.
Yes, sir. I have another question. In the socio-economic revolution, you proposed what would be the role of the judiciary, sir? Reformer, enabler, or bystander?
See, the judiciary must also help the people achieving better lives. The judiciary cannot be neutral in this respect. The judiciary must side with the poor people and help the poor people get better lives.
Okay.
This must be the role of the judiciary. The judiciary must strongly condemn feudal ideas like casteism and communalism. But I'll give you one example. When I was a judge of the Supreme Court, I was appointed in 2006, and a few days after being appointed a judge of Supreme Court, there was a case which came before me called Lata Singh versus State of UP. You can note it down. Lata Singh versus State of. There, two people who had an inter-caste marriage in UP, they were persecuted. The brothers of the girl, they wanted to kill her or whatever. She had to run away. Both had to run away from their town, and they had an Arj Samaji marriage, So when the case came before my bench, so the senior judge asked me to write the judgment, and I said that, look, if husband and wife, the boy and girl are majors means above 18 years of age. There is a law called Indian Majority Act, 1870, which says age of majority is 18 years. So if the boy and the girl are 18 years, then they are free to marry whomever they like. If for example, the girl's parents disapprove of the marriage, the maximum they can do is to cut off social relations with their daughter. But they cannot commit violence on her. They cannot shut her up in a room. They cannot beat her. They cannot torture her. They cannot kill her. That is illegal, and for that they must be severely punished.
Okay.
Right? Your daughter marries a Dalit boy or Muslim boy, whatever. You're not happy about it. all right, maximum you can do, you cut off social relations, but you can't go beyond that. So I said all that in my judgment. You read that judgment. Now see, here that how is judiciary attacking feudalism? See, the feudal idea, the old idea was that you should marry only within your caste, within your religion. And in fact, it was the parents who married the boy and girl. They were married at a young age. Now, boy and girl, they are grown up and they want to marry of their own choice. So now I am promoting modern, the judiciary must promote modernism and oppose feudalism. This is an important role of judiciary in this transitional age. India is passing through a transitional period between feudalism and modern society. So in
Okay.
this process, the judiciary should help get over this transition as fast as possible. We must also become a modern society. We are still semi-feudal, which is proved by the fact that there's so much casteism and communalism all over India. We are not a modern society. Large sections, in fact, 80% people they have feudal ideas, casteism, communalism. So
Yes, sir.
judiciary attack all that, attack feudalism. And I gave you the example how I did it in the case of Lata Singh versus state of UP.
Okay, sir. Now, from your judicial experience, how can legal institutions contribute to dismantling entrenched social biases like this casteism and communism, sir?
I told you by giving judgments, attacking
Judgments.
feudalism. I gave you an example. I know that although I gave that judgment, but I know that by that judgment, casteism will not be abolished. But
Okay.
at least put up an idea which which will gradually grow. I plant seeds. I'm a creator of ideas. So I plant seeds. Now I know the seed will not become a tree in one day. It will take 10, 15 years to grow up and then become tree and then bear fruits. It will become a fruit bearing tree, but it will take at least 10 years or more. I may not be alive by then. But unless the seed is planted, how will you have a fruit bearing tree? So I plant seeds, but it is up to you people to water that seed. See, I'm
Okay.
79 years of age. I'm 79 years of age. I don't have many more years to live. It is the job of you people, much younger people, if you find my ideas to correct, uh, to promote those ideas, to water, give water to those seeds so that it becomes a plant and it grows and becomes a tree. That's your job. I won't be alive by the time it becomes a fruit bearing tree. But you can enjoy the fruit. I will not enjoy the fruit, although I have planted the seed. I've done the basic thing, but I will not get the fruit. I will not enjoy the lovely oranges or apples or I don't know what you have in Tamil Nadu. Which other fruits do you have? Which other
Fine.
fruits do you have? Sorry?
Mangoes, sir.
Mango.
Mangoes.
Imam Pasan. You have a very tasty mango called Imam Pasan. When I was Chief Justice, one judge of the High Court brought a box of Imam Pasan. At that time I thought that mangoes are fruits only existing in North India. That was my impression earlier. But then when a brother judge gave me a box of Imam Pasan, and they were so tasty, as good as our Chosa and Langda and Daseri, Alfonso. Then I realized in South India also they are very sweet mangoes. I never knew them. I thought the mango is a fruit of North India.
No, sir. We have lots of trees here, sir.
Yes, I was under the wrong impression.
Thanks a lot for spending your time with us, sir. Really, thanks a lot. We have discussed a lot about the current happenings, and you have given your valuable time to Idamalam channel. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you. Anytime you want me, I am available for you.
Thank you. Thank you.